Hello, today I'm going to be replacing this fence panel, and at the same time I'll be turning the new one into a gate so that I can get onto the other side. A bit unusual, but I have an idea of how I'm going to do it. But this one is in need of replacing anyway. It's starting to rot away. So here's the new panel here. It's a 6x5. And the reason I'm getting a shorter one than the 6x6 that's already there is so that it can clear the that bit of decking there, because the fence that's there now is below that, so this one will need to be able to open into the garden. So that's why it needs to be shorter, but still having a similar height to the others at the top. These are the things that I've bought for this job. So I've got these screws, 65mm. I've got a couple of bolts, one will go at the top, one at the bottom. I've got this heavy duty hasp and staple which I will use to which will go in the middle, which I can use with this padlock here. And I've got two pairs of hinges. I don't think just two hinges would be strong enough, so I've got four in total. So I've also got these two lengths of wood here. This one will be cut up and used to attach the hinges. Well, the hinges will go onto this, and this will go onto the panel. This will go down the side of the post, this one, and this part of the hinge will be attached to this. So this one will need to be cut up into, well, I need 4 lots of this, and this will need to be cut to the length of the post. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure the well, it will go in between this bit and this bit here, so I need to measure 4 lots of those and then saw them up. So I've now cut up the pieces of wood, as you can see here, and these 2 small bits will be used as the threshold for the gate, to stop it going inward when it shouldn't be. So I'm just going to now attach these pieces of wood onto this part here using the screws. So I'll just be drilling the holes first for that. So just to show an example of what I've just done, I've drilled through this piece of wood with this piece of wood being on top of here, so that the holes go straight through, and I've used this so that the head of the screw it sits flush with this piece of wood. So I've done that on this side and this side here, as you can see. So I'm going to do that for the rest of these, going evenly spaced up this side here. And then I'm going to use these screws to attach this part to this part. So I've now got these 4 pieces of wood attached with the screws, as you can see. So now it's just a case of putting these hinges onto one hinge onto each piece of wood, and these screws were supplied with 2 of the hinges, so I will now get on with attaching those. Okay, I've now got the hinges attached onto here, so it's now just a case of removing this old panel here. Someone has nailed this panel into this post, and probably on the other side as well, but there's too much ivy to see at the moment, so I'll have to take all this ivy off and then remove those nails and remove the panel. And I'll have to try not to disturb this fox that's down here, because he's obviously taking a nap. So apologies to you if I do wake you up, which looks like I already have anyway. As you can see, I've now removed the old panel, which is now here. It wasn't particularly easy. The nails are quite difficult to remove, and they're all here, bent and rusty. I've now attached this piece of wood here using 4 screws, and this will be where the hinges attach, which I'll so I'll now get this panel up and see if I can align it and make marks where the holes are supposed to be for the hinges. As you can see, these posts were not put in properly, and they're leaning a bit, which unfortunately means that for me there's a big gap on one side and it sits on the floor on the other side, but unfortunately it's not really much I can do about that, so I'm going to have to just put it on as it is, but I'll be raising that bit there slightly so that that screw can go in the bottom of that piece of wood, which means there'll probably be quite a large gap over here, but I'll see if I can think of something to do about that. So those screws are now screwed in, and it's all set up in terms of the hinges. And I'll show you that it really works. Goes all the way back. So now it's just a case of putting the bolts and the hasp on. So I had to fit an extra bit of wood there for this hasp, because otherwise it would have just had the 2 screws holding it in place. So I just used a bit of the old fence panel and just put another couple of screws in, which are slightly longer, and so that's all done, as are the bolts. So there's just 2 more things to do here, which is fit a piece of wood here and at the bottom here, which will stop the gates coming towards, well, opening in the wrong direction. So those are called thresholds. So I'm going to fit those now, and then that will be pretty much it, other than sorting out this gap here, which I'll do at some point. So I would say that this has been fairly successful, but remains to be seen as to how long it's going to last, or how it's going to cope in the wind and things like that. But I'm hoping for the best. So just finally, I've just fitted this threshold at the top and this one at the bottom here. So we'll now see that when you close the gate, it doesn't go past there, which is what we want. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.